All right, let's talk about the chaos we all deal with. Endless notifications, frustrating co-workers, family drama, and let's not forget that inner critic constantly whispering, "You're not doing enough." Sound familiar? Modern life feels like a storm, and most of us are just trying to hold on. But what if I told you there's an ancient toolkit, yes, ancient, that can help you navigate all of this with calm, confidence, and clarity? Enter Stoicism, a philosophy that's over 2,000 years old, but feels like it was designed for today. Don't worry, I'm not here to preach or throw complicated jargon at you. In this video, I'm going to break down 5 ridiculously simple Stoic tips that you can start using today. Now, you might be thinking, is this just another self-help gimmick? Nope. This is about real-world solutions for real-world problems, practical, no-nonsense strategies that work whether you're stuck in traffic or dealing with a passive-aggressive email. And here's the kicker. Some of these tips might feel a little counterintuitive, maybe even controversial. But that's the beauty of Stoicism. It challenges the way we've been conditioned to react and shows us a better way to live. So, if you've ever felt overwhelmed, stuck, or like life is just pulling you in a million directions, stick around. This video isn't about escaping the chaos, it's about owning it. By the end, you'll walk away with tools to find peace, take control, and focus on what truly matters. Ready to change how you see the world? Let's dive in. Number 1. Embrace the chaos, the art of indifference. Let me start with a bold truth. Most of the things that upset us, ruin our mood, or derail our day don't actually matter. Yeah, I said it. That person who cut you off in traffic, irrelevant. The email with the passive-aggressive tone, forget it. The long line at your favorite coffee shop, it's not the universe plotting against you. Chaos happens, and here's the real kicker. You don't have to care. Seriously, you can just not care. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, great, another just be Zen speech. But trust me, this isn't about sitting cross-legged and chanting your way to peace. This is about learning the art of indifference, an unconventional, life-altering mindset shift that can save you from a lot of unnecessary drama. We've all been there, haven't we? You're running late for an important meeting, and of course, it's the day every red light decides to join forces against you. Or maybe you've meticulously planned your day, but suddenly someone else's emergency becomes your problem. It's maddening. Your pulse quickens, your jaw tightens, and that inner voice starts rehearsing comebacks you'll never say. Sound familiar? Chaos sneaks up on all of us, and the instinct is always the same. Fix it, fight it, or fret over it. But what if you didn't? What if, instead of feeding the chaos, you shrugged and thought, not worth my energy? That's indifference, my friend, and it's about to change your life. Here's the idea. When you stop assigning importance to every annoyance that crosses your path, you reclaim your power. Think of it as emotional minimalism. You only have so much energy in a day, so why waste it on things that don't deserve it? Sure, some things need your attention, your family, your health, your goals. But that stranger who gave you a dirty look, the co-worker who didn't reply to your email within 2 hours, not your problem. And before you roll your eyes, I get it. It sounds passive-aggressive, maybe even a little cold. But hear me out. It's not about being apathetic. It's about being selective. I remember this one time. I was at the airport, and a flight delay turned into a cancellation. The terminal was a sea of frustration, angry calls, loud sighs, and people shouting at gate agents as if they controlled the weather. For a moment I felt the pull to join the chaos, but instead I sat down, took out a book I hadn't touched in months, and started reading. I decided then and there, this delay isn't ruining my peace. By the time the airline announced a new flight plan, I'd read 3 chapters and had a genuinely relaxing couple of hours. Meanwhile, others were still pacing, fuming, and emotionally drained. That's when it clicked. Indifference isn't giving up. It's choosing calm over chaos. This mindset isn't just about surviving flight delays or petty inconveniences. It's about protecting your peace, your dignity, and your mental space. Think of it as your superpower. The next time chaos strikes, pause and ask yourself, does this really deserve my attention? 9 times out of 10, it doesn't. And when you make this shift, you'll find something incredible happens. You stop being controlled by external noise and start living from a place of inner strength. This isn't about ignoring life's challenges. It's about recognizing which ones are actually worth your energy. So, the next time life throws you into chaos, remember, you have a choice. You can dive into the madness, or you can stand still and let it swirl around you while you stay calm, collected, and most importantly, indifferent. This is about reclaiming your space, your peace, and your power. And honestly, doesn't that sound like a better way to live? Number 2. Cancel your comforts. Micro-sacrifices for resilience. Here's a wild thought. Comfort might just be your biggest weakness. Bold, I know. But think about it. All those little luxuries we cling to, our perfectly brewed morning coffee, our cozy blankets, our favorite apps to scroll through endlessly, they make life easy, sure, but they also make us soft. And here's where it gets interesting. What if I told you that by giving up just a tiny bit of your comfort, you could become a stronger, more resilient version of yourself? I know, it sounds a little counterintuitive, maybe even a little unnecessary, but stick with me. It's simpler and more powerful than you think. We've all been there, haven't we? You're in bed, scrolling through your phone, knowing full well that the alarm is set too late for a proper morning routine. But hey, 5 more minutes won't hurt, right? Or maybe it's that third snack you didn't really need but grabbed because, well, it's been a day. These comforts are seductive. They're easy. They wrap us up in a cocoon of convenience that feels safe. But you know what's sneaky about comfort? It tricks you into thinking you need it to survive, when really it's just keeping you from discovering how strong you are without it. Here's the strategy. Start with micro-sacrifices. Don't worry, I'm not asking you to renounce all worldly pleasures and go live in a cave. I'm talking small, manageable sacrifices. Skip your favorite streaming show for a night and use that time to journal or take a walk. Swap your morning coffee for a glass of water, just to remind yourself you don't need caffeine to function. Take a cold shower once a week, not because it's fun, it's not, but because it builds mental toughness. The point isn't to punish yourself, it's to prove to yourself that you can handle discomfort and come out stronger. Let me give you an example. A few months ago, I decided to give up my favorite Friday night ritual, ordering takeout and binge-watching my favorite series. Instead, I cooked a simple meal and spent the evening reading a book that had been gathering dust on my shelf. Was it easy? Nope. Did it feel a little boring at first? Absolutely. But here's the thing. By the end of the night, I felt accomplished. I'd pushed past the craving for comfort and found something deeper, satisfaction in doing something I didn't need to do, but chose to do. And you know what? That little decision made the rest of my week feel lighter. This isn't just about toughening up, it's about proving to yourself that you're in control. Every time you say no to a small comfort, you're flexing your mental muscles. You're teaching yourself to handle life's inevitable discomforts with grace and grit. And here's the best part. These micro-sacrifices don't just make you stronger, they make your comfort sweeter. That morning coffee you skipped, when you have it the next day, it feels like a reward, not a crutch. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one comfort, just one, and cancel it for a day. See how it feels. It might be awkward, it might be uncomfortable, but I promise you, it'll be worth it. This is about reclaiming your resilience, your strength, and your ability to thrive, no matter what life throws your way. Because when you can face discomfort on your terms, you're unstoppable. Comfort doesn't define you, your strength does. Number 3, argue with the void. Silent dialogues with adversity. Let's start with a question. Have you ever won an argument with yourself? Be honest. You know the kind I mean, the inner tug-of-war when life throws a curveball. Maybe it's after someone says something unfair, or when you feel overlooked, frustrated, or completely overwhelmed. That inner voice starts rehearsing what you should have said, crafting the perfect retort that somehow always comes too late. It's exhausting, isn't it? But here's a thought. What if, instead of arguing with the situation, you argued with the void? You're skeptical, I know. Argue with the void? What does that even mean? Don't worry, it'll make sense soon. We've all been there. Picture this. You're at work and a colleague publicly critiques your idea without so much as a heads up. Your blood boils. Your brain is firing off counter-arguments like a courtroom drama, but you bite your tongue because, well, professionalism. You spend the rest of the day replaying the moment, thinking about what you should have said or how unfair it was. By the time you're home, you're drained, not just from the interaction, but from the mental gymnastics you've been doing ever since. Sound familiar? It's that endless spiral of frustration that keeps you stuck in a battle that doesn't even exist anymore. Here's where the void comes in. The void is that silent space in your mind, the one that absorbs all your what-ifs and why-me's. It doesn't judge, it doesn't fight back, it just listens. Arguing with the void means taking all that energy you'd waste on rehashing the situation and channeling it into something that helps you process and let go. Instead of imagining how the argument could have gone, ask the void, will this matter in a week? In a month? Repeat it silently, as many times as it takes for the frustration to fade. The void isn't there to solve the problem. It's there to remind you that not every problem deserves a solution. I tried this for the first time during a family gathering. You know how family dynamics can get. There's always that one relative who knows exactly how to push your buttons. Mine did, with a subtle jab disguised as a joke. I felt the heat rise in my chest and the comeback forming on my lips. But instead, I argued with the void. I stepped outside for a moment, looked up at the sky, and silently asked, will this matter in a week? The sky didn't answer, of course, but the question itself was enough. By the time I went back inside, the urge to react had vanished, and the moment had lost its grip on me. This isn't about avoiding confrontation or pretending things don't bother you. It's about choosing where to invest your emotional energy. Arguing with the void gives you the space to process without escalating. It reminds you that some battles aren't worth fighting, not because you're weak, but because your peace is stronger than any momentary frustration. So the next time adversity strikes and you feel the urge to react, take a breath and argue with the void. Ask it the questions that truly matter. Is this worth my time, my energy, my peace? You'll be amazed at how often the answer is no. This is about reclaiming control over your emotions, your thoughts, and ultimately your life. Remember, silence isn't surrender, it's strength. And when you can find strength in silence, you've already won the argument. Number 4, delete the drama. Social media, Stoicism. Let's get real for a second. Social media has turned us all into emotional yo-yos. 1 minute, you're laughing at a dog video. The next, you're fuming over someone's comment, wondering why you even bothered opening the app in the first place. It's a never-ending stream of opinions, arguments, and curated perfection designed to keep you hooked and, let's be honest, a little stressed out. But here's a wild idea. What if you approached social media with the mindset of a Stoic? Yep, Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of keeping your cool and not sweating the small stuff. Trust me, it works. We've all been there. You post something you're proud of, a picture, a thought, maybe even just a witty meme. And then it happens. Someone leaves a comment. Maybe it's a passive-aggressive joke, or worse, outright criticism. Suddenly, you're spiraling, rereading their words, drafting the perfect clapback in your head. Or maybe you're just scrolling, and you stumble upon someone's post that feels like a direct attack on your values, your choices, or even your favorite TV show. Your heart races, your fingers hover over the keyboard, and for what? A digital argument that no one wins. Here's the strategy. Practice social media stoicism. Treat every post, every comment, and every notification like a test of your emotional discipline. The core idea is simple. You control your reaction. Not the algorithm, not the trolls, and definitely not that one person who always seems to have something negative to say. When you see something that triggers you, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, does this deserve my energy? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. And if it's no, you scroll on, without engaging, without reacting, without letting it ruin your day. Let me tell you about a time I put this into practice. I posted a thoughtful opinion on a trending topic. Nothing controversial, just my perspective. Within minutes, someone I barely knew jumped into the comments with a snarky remark. My initial reaction, defend myself, prove them wrong. But then I remembered social media stoicism. I took a deep breath and deleted their comment. Not because I couldn't handle criticism, but because I realized it wasn't a conversation I wanted to invest in. Guess what? The world didn't end. In fact, my day got better because I refused to engage in drama that didn't serve me. This isn't about ignoring valid conversations or pretending the digital world doesn't affect you. It's about setting boundaries and refusing to let your peace be dictated by strangers or even friends on the internet. Every time you choose not to react, you're reclaiming a piece of your emotional freedom. And here's a fun twist. The less you react, the less drama finds you. It's like the universe rewards you for choosing calm over chaos. So the next time you're on social media and you feel the pull of the drama, whether it's a heated debate, a subtle dig, or just a post that makes you feel less than, remember, you have the power to delete the drama. Not by logging off forever, though that's an option, but by deciding what's worth your time and energy. This is about reclaiming your space, your focus, and your mental clarity. Because in the grand scheme of life, do you really want to waste another second arguing with someone who probably wouldn't say it to your face? Stay calm, stay strong, and most importantly, keep scrolling. Your peace is worth it. Number 5. Die before you die. Daily mortality meditation. Here's a question you probably didn't expect today. What would you do differently if you knew this was your last day? It's a little morbid, right? But stick with me. There's power in that discomfort. Most of us avoid thinking about death as if it's some far-off event that doesn't really concern us. Yet, the truth is, life's most valuable lessons often come when we confront its impermanence. This isn't about doom and gloom. It's about clarity and purpose. What if I told you that embracing your mortality every day could actually make you more alive? Sounds paradoxical, doesn't it? But trust me on this one, it's a game changer. We've all been there, caught up in the grind, obsessing over minor inconveniences, letting days slip by without much thought. Maybe it's that email that ruined your mood, or the argument over who forgot to replace the milk. It's easy to get stuck in autopilot, sweating the small stuff as if we've got endless time to get it all right. But deep down, you know that's not true. And yet, When was the last time you stopped and thought, what if today was it? Would this even matter? Most of us don't, because who wants to sit with that level of vulnerability? This is where the concept of dying before you die comes in. No, I'm not suggesting anything literal here. It's about practicing a daily meditation on mortality. Take a moment, just a few minutes each day, to imagine your life from the perspective of its inevitable end. What do you see? What stands out as meaningful, and what suddenly feels trivial? This isn't about fear, it's about focus. When you remind yourself of life's finiteness, the noise fades and the signal becomes crystal clear. I started this practice a few years ago after hearing an old Stoic phrase, memento mori, remember you must die. At first, it felt heavy, almost overwhelming. But one morning, after a frustrating commute and a string of petty complaints, I sat down, closed my eyes, and asked myself, if this were my last day, how would I want to spend it? Instantly, my priorities shifted. The annoyance I felt toward my coworker melted away. I called a friend I'd been meaning to reconnect with. I took a walk without my phone, savoring the air and the sunshine. That day didn't just feel different, it felt alive. Here's the beauty of this practice. It forces you to strip away everything that doesn't matter. Petty arguments, meaningless grudges, the endless chase for more. They all lose their grip when you remind yourself that life is fleeting, and in their place you gain clarity, gratitude, and an appreciation for the here and now. You start showing up fully for the moments that count, whether it's hugging your kids, pouring your heart into your work, or simply enjoying your morning coffee without distraction. This isn't about living in fear of death, it's about using it as a compass. Every time you meditate on your mortality, you're not just preparing for the end, you're making the most of the middle. You're reclaiming your time, your energy, and your focus for the things that truly matter. So, here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning or tonight before bed, take 5 minutes. Close your eyes and imagine the world without you in it. Think about the legacy you'd leave, the moments you'd cherish most if you could relive them, and the things you'd let go of because they simply don't matter. Let that perspective guide your day. This is about living fully, not someday, but now. Because when you die before you die, you stop waiting to live. And isn't that the ultimate freedom? Thank you so much for watching. I truly hope this video gave you something valuable to think about, whether it's a new way to handle stress or a fresh perspective to bring to your everyday life. If you found these Stoic tips helpful, please give this video a like. It really helps support the channel and lets me know I'm creating content that resonates with you. And if you're ready for more insights on how to live a calmer, more focused life, don't forget to subscribe. There's so much more to explore, and I'd love for you to join this journey with me. Also, think of someone in your life who could benefit from these tips. Maybe a friend who's overwhelmed or a family member who's always stressed, and share this video with them. Finally, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you tried any Stoic practices before? Or maybe there's a challenge you're dealing with where these ideas could help. Let's start a conversation and learn from each other. That's what this community is all about. Remember, Stoicism isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every small shift in perspective brings you closer to a life of clarity and resilience. Until next time, take a deep breath, focus on what truly matters, and keep moving forward. You've got this. See you in the next video.